with a win tonight, and they're paced by the very versatile backcourt performer, Devon Moore, and the big, strong, tough guy around the rim, Rayshawn Goings.
You're talking about the second Devon in this game. 6'4" senior guard, leads the CAA, averaging almost 5 assists a game, 4.7. He's the 4th active leading scorer in CAA history. Oh, the other Devon that we talked about, Sadler, is number 1. And then you talk about the guy, the big man in the paint, Goings, 6'6", 275, almost a football player. Last time, 15 points, 13 rebounds in the victory over Delaware a month ago. This guy right here, again, another team, inside, outside. Every good guard, he's a great big man. Both of these guys have him.
We're coming down the stretch, and the second seed is on the line. James Madison and Delaware. Monte Ross is ready. So is Matt Brady. You better be as well. Time to pump up the volume, CAA style. Sunday night on Comcast Sportsnet. We get going in a moment.
So, as you can see, Geico's customer satisfaction is at 97%. Tasty.
And cut. Very good.
People are always asking me how we make these Geico adverts. So we're taking you behind the scenes. This coffee cup, for example, is computer animated. It's not real. Geico's customer satisfaction's quite real, though. This computer animated coffee tastes dreadful.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Someone get me a latte, will you, please?
The road starts here. Tickets for the CAA Men's Basketball Championship on sale now.
Sports season, the state of Virginia is hosting 9 Colonial Athletic Association championships. Cross country, swimming and diving, men's basketball, rowing, tennis, and baseball. Virginia is for lovers of college sports. Go to caasports.com for more championship information or visit virginia.org to plan your trip to Virginia today so you can watch some of the best student athletes in the country. Virginia is for lovers of college sports.
At the University of Delaware, we dare to be first.
Our community includes daring, dynamic individuals, Pulitzer Prize winners, Rhodes Scholars, even the Vice President of the United States.
We dare to think big. We challenge prevailing thought.
We're inventors, innovators, and problem solvers.
Our research redefines what's possible.
We tackle the biggest social,
civic, artistic,
and scientific challenges of our age.
We are making a difference in the world.
We strive to lead in ways that matter.
We dare to be first.
Tonight's CAA basketball coverage on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Also by Virginia Tourism. Live passionately. Virginia is for lovers. The Bob Carpenter Center here on the campus of the University of Delaware, very energized tonight. Why not? Yeah, 2 of the sizzling basketball squads coming down the stretch. The homestanding Delaware Blue Hens won 3 in a row, 6 of the last 7. James Madison, they've been playing excellent basketball as well. They've won 6 of the last 8 with a big win over Towson on Thursday. All right, let's take a look at how James Madison lines up. You saw Rayshawn Goings and Devon Moore along with Andre Nation. And for Delaware, keep an eye on Devon Sadler and Jamel Higgins and Monte Ross. Ross now in his 7th season here in Newark. Last year, overall wins, CAA wins, and the 5th place finish, all bests for him in his 7 years at the helm of the Delaware Blue Hens. Matt Brady, the head coach of the James Madison Dukes in his 5th season. Pair of 21-win seasons. And, of course, CIT and CBI tournaments. And also 1 to the good, 3 up and 2 down against Delaware. So Brad Jackson, a lot of energy in this building. Should be a very entertaining night. And again, with so much on the line as we come down the home stretch, 5 CAA squads within 2 games of one another, vying for seeds 2 through 6. Delaware leads at all times. Settle back and enjoy it. Time for us to get you to the hoop. Colonial Athletic Association style all night long here on Comcast Sportsnet. 3 gentlemen that officiated tonight. Delaware with the first look at the offensive end. Brinkley off the spin. Got it right back, and he's going to go to the free throw line. So the work of Josh Brinkley, the 6'6" senior out of Richmond. And he's going to go to the stripe to shoot a couple.
Yeah, as you see, they try to get the ball in inside deep to Brinkley on the freshman Taylor Bessick, 6'9", freshman from Philadelphia. You know, he's got a lot of height on him. He's only 215 pounds. So you see whether they want to go inside to try to get something started early in the paint.
Third member of our telecast team tonight, we say hi to Kelly Cowan. Hi, Kelly.
Hey, guys. Well, the last time these two teams faced each other, of course, JMU taking down Delaware. And Coach Monte Ross told me that it wasn't the fact that they lost to JMU. It was the fact of how they lost to JMU, shooting just 29% from the field, 25% from three-point land, out-rebounded 48 to 32. Jamel Higgins held to just 4 points in the loss. Said that they were playing like individuals, guys, and not like a team.
Yeah, Kelly, and Delaware wants to get off to the very nice start. And as you see, after the turnover, Jarvis Threet running pretty much rack to finish that with the left hand. So the James Madison turnover, and that's kind of an anomaly because the other night when they beat Towson, Matt Brady was thrilled. Only 5 turnovers. They lead the CAA with only 11 miscues per game.
Right, and they're on pace to break their own school record for the least amount of turnovers in a basketball season, Mike.
Shot clock at 3. That's Devon Moore that had to cast that off. So Jarvis Threet. Oh, was he big the other night up in Boston in the overtime win over Northeastern. Brinkley, he couldn't finish with the left hand. Jamel Higgins gave him a good look. The basketball will stay with Delaware. But in that win, Monte Ross's ball club, they're down by 5 with less than 2 minutes left in overtime. They got a couple of hoops. One of them a huge 3 from Jarvis Threet. That won it coming down the stretch as they came back from 5 down to post the road win.
Right, a huge 3 from the sophomore. I mean, to be able to take a big shot, fade away on the wing, that sealed that victory. Had to do a lot for his confidence, but he's been playing well. He's got a couple double-doubles in his last couple games. He had a double-double against the victory over Old Dominion with 13 and 10, and also added 6 assists in that game. So you're talking about Jarvis Threet, a guy that is turning it up in these last couple weeks of this regular season before the CAA tournament starts.
See Jamel Higgins trying to take it up strong, but Taylor Bessick protecting that rim very well in the first couple of Delaware possessions for James Madison.
2 long guys, both of them 6'9". One's a senior, one's a freshman, but very long individuals, and just great athleticism by both of those young men.
All right, 10 on the shot clock now. Couple minutes into it. Jarvis Threet missed everything, and the basketball will belong to James Madison. Brad Jackson, what about the vital signs for both squads tonight?
Well, it's got to start with James Madison win the rebounding battle. You're talking about, you know, the big guy that we talked about with Brinkley and obviously Higgins, you know, 10.1 rebounds a game. You've got to be able to win the rebounding average, and they got to be able to score points. They've struggled on the road, you know, 2 and 8 on the road for James Madison. They're only averaging 60.6 points a game. They got to increase that, and to be able to do that, they got to play great defense. If they're going to struggle offensively, then they better play great defense and not allow Delaware to get started. And Delaware, as you talked about at the top, Michael, averages 69 points a game. That's second in the conference. They know how to put the ball in the rim. So James Madison has to play great defense. Conversely, Delaware has to continue to get hot, and they need a big game from the big man, and that's Jamel Higgins.
Rayshawn Goings and Jamel Higgins. It will be a battle to watch. Pair of very talented power forwards. Goings was terrific in that January win for the Dukes over Delaware. He went for 15 points and 13 rebounds. Hits a pair from the line there. And we saw this type of pressure last week, 94 feet, and Devon Sadler has got to get a timeout. Now, we recall at
total told us last week, Michael, that the team feeds off it. It gets their energy up. And when you're 2-8 on the road, you have to find anything, possible within reason to try to jumpstart and get your guys to start playing at a high level of motion, because there's not going to be many of your fans that are here, so you got to create your own emotion.
This is Kyle Anderson to hoist that three, and he will fill it up. Kyle Anderson averages better than 8 a game. He had 9 big points, hit a couple of trays and 4 boards in that win in Boston over Northeastern. Yeah, and he's Charles Cook off the miss.
One of the other great freshmen that we'll see throughout the night here for James Madison.
Threet threw it over the rim. Jamel Higgins will rock that rim, cleaning it up on the offensive end for Delaware.
Offensive rebounding, again, we talked about it's one of the keys. They got to find Higgins and Brinkley and put a body on them. Box them out, get low, bend your knees, and put your butt on them and do everything that you need. It's physical in the paint. You're going to have to be physical with it. You're going to see the ball get inserted right here to Goins, who's going to take it to the rack.
Strong move by Rayshawn Goins. Well, he and Higgins battling at the rim, and Goins does not finish. Had a couple of opportunities off that right block. As we just spoke of, though, James Madison can ill afford the type of start that they had at the Daskalakis Center last week in Philly. Sadler corkscrewing his way to the goal, and he'll go to the free throw line off the James Madison foul.
And you see it right there. I mean, there's Higgins coming from the weak side. Great job. He's an offensive rebounder. There's a reason why he's the career leader in reboundings here at the University of Delaware. He has an anticipation, does a great job of seeing where, understanding where the shot's going up and where it could potentially come off of the rim, and does a great job, Fabulous, there again. You got to see Taylor Bessick has to do a better job as a freshman. I know he's 6'9", but he's got to do a better job putting his body on him.
You're looking at that free throw stripe. Devon Sadler, a good look at the young man from Aberdeen, Maryland. Leads the CAA at 19.5 a game. Double figures in points, 32 games in a row. And he's been over the 20-point barrier 11 times this year. He had 18 the other night at Northeastern.
So what you're telling me and the viewers is he stay tuned because he's special.
Yeah, and he is want to go off and dial up the electricity. Sadler off the float, touched it up. The iron here kind to him on the home floor at the Bob Carpenter Center. So right away, like last Sunday, James Madison in a double-digit hole 4 minutes into the game.
Right, they got to get better ball movement right here, and they got to find a way to convert when they do get in the paint. You saw Goins had a couple opportunities that just didn't go down. They got to figure it out. You see too much standing around from James Madison early on, so they got to get some movement and be able to find a way, and they're going to go back inside to this guy who will make something happen.
Goins will back down Higgins and come to work with a jump hook. Wouldn't stay in the cup for him. He's had 3 opportunities at point-blank range and has not converted. Rayshawn Goins. Sadler and Brinkley playing 2-man. Threet thought about stepping into that triple. Well, Delaware off to the very good start. The Blue Hens could put a security lock for the time being on the number 2 seed as Sadler unloads. Goins will keep Higgins off the glass for James Madison.
Good box out by Goins. They're using that big body of his to be able to secure that rebound.
Great to have you with us tonight on Comcast Sportsnet. Taylor Bisick with that jumper that's too firm, and well, James Madison off to a rugged start. They are 0 for 7 from the floor.
And we saw this type of drought last week, and as you see, Coach Brady's not going to waste any time, going to get a couple of his other players in the game and try to pick the energy up, and A.J. Davis and Deuce to get some guys that can rebound and also put some buckets in the cup for him.
Well, how about the look from Kyle Anderson to Josh Brinkley, and Brinkley's going to the free throw line when Madison out of Harrisonburg, Virginia. Of course, the school enrollments And, of course, Blue Hens from Delaware. Both these basketball teams in this log jam. And it bears repeating all night long. We showed you at the beginning of the show tonight how you have 5 squads within 2 games of one another. And with the pair of losses last week, Northeastern starting to come back to the pack somewhat as we come down the home stretch in February, and then the final regular season games on Saturday, March 2nd. And the Huskies still have to go down to Atlanta to tangle with Georgia State coming up next week.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is, don't go away and think that the seeding is set for the CAA tournament down in Richmond in a couple weeks, because there's still going to be some moving like the stock market at the top of these standings.
So pressure on now after that split of the pair from the line. A.J. Davis is on the floor. Davis really heated it up. He had 17 to pace James Madison in the win over Towson, the cousin of Devon Moore. And now working off that left side of the lane was Devon Moore as he got that to fall. Moore, young man from Northland High School in Columbus, Ohio, averaging better than 11 a game. That's the first field goal make here in the first 6 minutes and some change. Baptiste got rejected by A.J. Davis. So on the floor now off the bench is Carl Baptiste, the 6'9 junior for Delaware.
You see James Madison went a little bit smaller this time and trying to use more of the quickness versus Delaware's height by bringing in A.J. Davis and Doof as well and keeping the guards out there.
Go to the free throw line on the Carl Baptiste foul will be Devon Moore. Very, very much a slasher is Devon Moore. Loves to get to the rim as you take a good look at the young man who, again, second on this ball club behind Rayshawn Goings. 26 assists, though, Brad, for Devon Moore in the last 3 games. 2 of them James Madison wins. And, you know, he's moving up on the charts of about 4 different offensive categories, career charts of the James Madison Dukes.
Right, and you know, he's only the 2nd player in school history behind Pierre Curtis to have 3 seasons of 100+ assists. We know he leads the CAA almost 4.7, almost 5 assists a game. You know, sharing is caring, as I was always taught, but he also averages 11 points. So not only does he has the ability to get his other teammates involved, as we've seen right now, he also can try to start and jumpstart this offense by putting, you know, making some buckets himself.
Yeah, Moore with a couple of free throw makes. Anderson off that down screen, and he will bury that jumper. Anderson with an outstanding stroke, the 6'2 sophomore out of the state of Illinois. Last 2, he's at 12 against Old Dominion and 9 points, as we mentioned, and that win over Northeastern. Moore is off the mark from deep beyond the arc. Delaware by 9 as we come toward the 12-minute mark. Hagan's had it ripped away by Rayshawn Goings.
Good defense by Goings. You know, you got to be strong with the ball in the paint.
And Goings is going to get to the free throw line. That's going to be 2 quick fouls on Carl Baptiste of Delaware.
Great job by Coach Brady, you know, making a couple substitutions. And now you see the movement of James Madison. They picked up the pace a little bit offensively, having some guys out there that can create on their own and get to the basket. So that being able to move the ball has it opened up the offense a little bit, where now they're getting some easier looks and opportunities at the rim and also at the free throw line.
Let's check in again with Kelly Cowan. Kelly?
Yeah, I spoke with Devon Moore last night. He called Kyle Anderson a game changer. He said he doesn't get the most hype on this team, but if you allow him to get started beyond the arc, it's hard to stop him. He said Anderson's the one guy on this team who scares him because he can change the game, guys, in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, I can understand that as we saw the very pure stroke of Kyle Anderson. Rayshawn Goings with a couple of free throw makes. Still just the 1 bucket for James Madison, but they're going to get another opportunity as that pressure forced the Delaware turnover as Higgins could not handle. Monte Ross has done a terrific job, as we said, here in 2011, 2012, 12-6, their top mark in Ross's tenure in the CAA. That jump hook did not go down from Alian Diouf. So Booth, the young man from Powder Springs, Georgia, he too had a strong performance against Towson as he went for 8. Anderson, that quick trigger three, is going to come up shy off that front rim. James Madison looking to push. They want some easy buckets. Only have one hoop tonight. Make it their second field goal make of the evening, as that's A.J. Davis, the 5th-year senior, like Devon Moore, also out of Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, he was able to find his cousin. You know, I'm sure they played a lot of ball together growing up back in Columbus, Ohio, and saw him on the wing, got it to him early in transition, which allowed Davis to be able to make a move and get to the cup.
And in their last 20 CAA games, they've got the best mark of any squad in the league. 16-4. Now, again, that goes back to the tail end of the 2011-2012 campaign. So they've been playing at a very premium level for Monte Ross.
Yeah, and that's impressive, you know, and even they're off to their best start, you know, through 13 games. This will be the 14th one since joining the league in 2000-2002.
Devon Moore went sailing his way to the bucket after Higgins lost the basketball around the rim. So James Madison starting to catch a little spark at the defensive end. Now that's going to be a James Madison foul on Ron Curry, the 6'3" freshman. Let's watch the quicks, though, of the Duke's Devon Moore getting to the rack.
Right, and it's a great job right there. He saw a seam, was able to take it, and Taylor Bessick, the freshman, does a great job of just standing there, you know, be able to shield Anderson off and give Moore the lane to be able to finish at the rim.
James Madison, another very slow start. They were 0 for their first 7. Brinkley with that short jumper is right there. The young man from Douglas Fleming High School in Richmond, Josh Brinkley, connecting to bump the lead to 5 again.
And a great pass by you know, Anderson right there. He did a great job. Didn't waste it, didn't pound the ball. A lot of times you see a lot of young guards want to get that extra dribble and pound the ball. He saw the opening right away and got to Brinkley so he could make a move and be able to score.
A.J. Davis just got bumped. And Josh Brinkley got hit with the Delaware foul.
And you see right here, he recognizes double team right away from Nation, the freshman for JMU, and he's able to dump it off and knows exactly where the double team came from. 9 times out of 10, whenever the guy, that double team is coming, his guy's open, and as you saw right there, great job by Anderson, beautiful look and pass.
Get out of here, said Jamel Higgins, as A.J. Davis tried to turn that corner, and Higgins swatted him.
Yeah, it's tough going against someone 6'9", you know, University of Delaware's all-time leader in block shots and one of the best in CAA history as well.
All-time rebounding leader also of this Delaware Blue Hen program. Young man from William Fleming High School in Roanoke. Taylor Bessick back on the floor for James Madison. The Delaware lead is 5 as we approach the halfway point here in the opening half. Well, Bessick almost lost it, then he turned it over. This is Jarvis Threed. Threed had problems, somehow saved. Sadler. Devon Sadler with that tough fadeaway jumper at front rim. Put it in the hands of Rayshawn Goins. He's going to tee it up and knock it down. How about Goins stepping outside the arc and delivering the triple?
And he shot that one from downtown. I mean, that was something that wasn't in the scout report, I'm sure, you know, prior to that. But a great job by Goins. And now, you know, he brings his team within 2 of the Blue Hens.
So after the very slow start, 0 for 7 from the floor, James Madison now starting to get some activity and productivity off their defense on that step back from Jarvis Threed. He'll stick it. Like the looks of the 6'2" sophomore, excellent compliment for Devon Sadler in that Delaware backcourt.
Right, and he's averaging 12.5 points, 5.5 rebounds. You know, this, and we saw his steal earlier. He was able to do a great job of stepping to the passing lane on the steal, which he has 41 on the season. But he is an excellent compliment when you talk about someone that can also take pressure off of the main score and be able to create himself, as you just see right there.
Count that, too, for Jarvis Threed as he was able to float that home after he got contact. Well, watch Threed again.
Good job at ball faking. He's just, you know, as a freshman mistake there by Nation, you know, his dribble's dead. Just stand there with your hands up. You know, you can affect a shot more by just putting a hand in the shooter's face than jumping to block it, especially on a jump shot.
All right, the refereeing trio of Tony Dawkins, Andrew Murata, and Earl Robinson are at the scores table. What they're looking at is whether or not that line drive jumper from Rayshawn Goings of James Madison was indeed a 2 or 3. It looked like, and we'll take a look. Our pictures will definitively give us an idea. Now you see that Tony Dawkins did make the signal for a 3. See Dawkins?
Yep. It's a great shot by our camera crew, getting it and being able to, you know, get a picture of that line. Valentine's week just ended. They showed the big fella a little bit of love.
Tony Dawkins comes over to us and confirms that, yeah, count that as the 3-point hit, the triple for Rayshawn Goings. So stepping out on the floor is Goings. How many on the year for Rayshawn Goings from beyond the arc?
Well, he's 13 to 33, so he's, you know.
Shoot it once in a while, man.
Yeah, 39.4%. You know, I'm going to tell Coach to dial me up a couple from behind the line as well if I was able to shoot almost 40% from the 3-point line.
Yeah. Jarvis Threet with the more conventional end one on the 3-point opportunity for Delaware. As you see, both ball clubs shooting it well from the free throw line here in the first 11 minutes and some change. Delaware on top by 7. Blue Hens trying to go to 10-4 in the CAA with a win tonight. Stay within just a game and a half of Northeastern. That putback is probably going to be attributed to Taylor Bessick after Charles Cook misfired, but I think if we took a look at it again, you'd see that it was Delaware players redirecting that in the hoop.
Yeah, between Larry Savage and Hagens, one of them got a hand and tipped it in.
Larry Savage is on the floor right now, 6'5" sophomore out of the state of Virginia for Monte Ross. That Jarvis Threet pass got picked off by Rayshawn Goings. Well, James Madison can get back to within a couple here. Charles Cook, though, not able to radar in that deep 3. We'll put it in the hands of Devon Sadler, the leading scorer in the CAA at 19.5 a game. The preseason first team all CAA choice, along with his teammate Jamel Hagan. Sadler, look at the upper body strength as he crossed over, but he lowered that shoulder and got hit with an offensive foul. He looks like an outside linebacker. That's Rob Washburn, the assistant AD for communications of the CAA, does a terrific job with it. CAAsports.com for more details. There, Joe Flacco, right? A Delaware Blue Hen. Won a national championship here on the FCS side. Of course, Gino Bradkowski as well as A.J. Davis showing you his lively legs taking off and hammering that home.
That's how you finish at the rim, young kids. If you get there and get an opportunity, there's no reason to go to soft. You try to finish above the rim. Great job by Davis. I mean, he's averaging 16 points a game the last 3 games. So this is, a young man that, as we talked about, a lot of these young guys coming toward the end of their careers, at the university are stepping up their games, and he's one of them.
All right, off that now Jarvis Threet miss. James Madison could get themselves back to within 1, maybe tie it up here. So after the 0 for 7 start now, James Madison has hit 6 of their last 13 from the floor. Devon Moore got shut off. That deep triple to tie this thing up is right there from Ronald Curry, the 6'3" freshman out of Pennsauken, New Jersey. So here comes James Madison starting to get the long-range artillery together.
Right, and that was a great job of penetration to dish out behind the line by Moore, who leads the CAA in assists. Excellent job. That's what penetration does. It allows and affords an opportunity for the guard to penetrate and kick it out to someone open on the wing for an easy look for a 3-pointer. Great job again by Moore.
Off the 3 miss, Brinkley brought the ball down, shouldn't have in traffic. That step back triple from A.J. Davis wouldn't fall. Delaware trying to reclaim the lead on this trip. Sadler shaking his way into the paint, and that James Madison foul is going to go on Ronald Curry. who just connected on that long-range triple a moment ago for the Dukes. And that is team foul number 7 on James Madison. 1 in bonus time as he saw the contact on Curry.
Great call. I mean, it's a great call. He was moving his feet, wasn't in front of him. Good move by Sadler to get to the paint, and a good call by the ref. And Sadler does what all good scorers and shooters know is once you hear that whistle, throw your hands up and try to throw that ball at the rim in order to get a couple opportunities to go to the free throw line.
All of you high school hoop fans in the state of Maryland, you probably remember the prep career of Devon Sadler in Aberdeen. He's had a dynamic career here as a sophomore last year. Second team all CAA, averaged 18.8 per game his breakout year, and again preseason first team choice along with his teammate Jamel Higgins this year.
He also had 15 20-plus point games last year, second in the conference as a sophomore. Talk about an excellent season, having a sophomore. There was no sophomore slumps for Sadler last season.
Davis to load up that triple, and you can book that for A.J. Davis. He is really instant heat off the James Madison bench of Matt Brady.
Yeah, and a couple weeks ago against the game against William & Mary, he had 27 points, which he went 7 of 10 in the second half of that game. So you're talking about a guy in A.J. Davis who used to be a starter. Coach Brady moved him to the bench this year to try to give them an extra weapon. And once he got inserted to this lineup, and in this game, you saw how the offense picked up and there became more opportunities and they were able to chip into this lead.
Delaware didn't take long, though, to go back to Jamel Higgins in the paint. Blown assignment there, Delaware defensively. It led to an easy deuce from Rayshawn Goings, the powerful 6'6" senior. So Goings has got 9 now to pace James Madison, who's back on top by 1. Higgins to unload, had a real good look at it, didn't finish it. Anderson kept it alive. 3 way off the mark, wide left on his triple try. Pair of uncontested looks for Delaware. Neither would go down for Higgins or 3. James Madison fought their way back after they were down 11 here in the early going. Davis, good look at a triple. He back rimmed it. And that's going to be Jamel Higgins for going over the back of James Madison's Devon Moore. Or check that, he went over the back of Charles Cook.
Right, and you see why Coach Ross for Delaware's upset. You see the rebound is clearly, and they both were going for the ball to call a foul on the guy come underneath. It's one of those few times it's disadvantage being 6'9" as Higgins is, because once the defender came underneath to try to get the rebound, they called him for being over the back.
They got in foul trouble in that game at Harrisonburg. He had 12-5. It's a +7 for James Madison. On that back down now, trying to use his strength, was Alion Diouf. And it'll be.
There's a guy we talked about it before. Team leading 7 points right now. Also has 2 steals, so the sophomore is having a very productive first half of this football game, trying to keep Delaware in there. As the leading scorer in the CAA, and that being Devon Sadler, who's averaging 19.5, is only on 6 points. He hasn't quite found the rhythm just yet.
Partner, you still got the Super Bowl on your mind, huh? Still talking football.
How's that?
You set up this football game.
Oh, Lord Jesus. You talking about Joe Flacco, everyone gets excited.
Everybody gets
coming
excited
in Delaware.
And, yeah. I understand. Yeah, I think Gino Gradkowski's going to. Is a third-round draft pick by Ozzie Newsome. I think he will eventually work his way on that offensive line. Pressure now from James Madison. So the lead is a deuce as Alion Diouf, the senior out of Powder Springs, Georgia, split the pair. Threet, Anderson, Baptiste, Sadler, and Brinkley for Monte Ross, as Jamel Higgins right now gets arrested. Well, Brinkley's in all kinds of duress. Sadler, that face-up triple. And Rayshawn Goings will pull off. James Madison right now with Charles Cook along with Ron Curry. Alion Diouf, Rayshawn Goings, and A.J. Davis. As we come to the 3-minute mark, Goings with power, but left it short. Last touch, Baptiste keep it with the Dukes of James Madison. We have been so impressed with road teams in the CAA this year. Cook took that in one motion and ad-libbed that and got it to fall off that set play off the inbound. The freshman, Charles Cook, we were impressed last Sunday. He had 16 points, really the top James Madison offensive performer in that loss at Drexel.
Yeah, he, as a freshman, they have 4 freshmen for James Madison that are playing productive, the most that they've ever had, and they also have the most fifth-year seniors of all 347 Division I programs. So, but the reason why they've had this comeback was being, you see right here, Sadler getting to the rim as well. And again, he does a great job. But once he hears the whistle, trying to finish in order to give himself an opportunity to get a couple points at the free throw line. But it's one of those things with these freshmen, Michael, have continued to play well. We talked to Coach Brady. We talked to other people on the staff of James Madison. And, after this team started 1-5, and, the last 21 games being 14-7, it's because these freshmen have stepped up their play.
Devon Sadler will split the pair. And he has gotten terrific production as Matt Brady. Now Devon Sadler, as you see, doing most of it from the free throw line tonight. As he is just 1 for 4 from the floor. That long-range 3 is right there from Ronald Curry. One of the freshmen that Brad Jackson was just talking about, the young man from Pennsauken, New Jersey. He's deposited his second 3 here in the opening half, and James Madison's up a half dozen. Sadler's got to look at it, and he'll come back and splash the triple, answering Curry's 3-point bomb of James Madison. James Madison lost track of Devon Sadler there.
Yeah, it's the one guy you can't lose track of on the court tonight.
Davis off the step back, and he will book that long-range tray. So on the 3 possessions, 3 straight triple hits. Sadler off the show and go. Oh, yeah, count that. +1 coming from the line. Things starting to heat up now at the offensive end for both ball clubs. Well, Devon Sadler crossed that over and got to the rim, finished with contact.
Oh, my goodness, what a great move. Great crossover right there, and then does a great jump step right there, being able to switch the ball in the air, be able to finish around the defender. I tell you what, these two are heating up. They're both guarding each other. A.J. Davis and Devon Sadler are guarding each other. They're starting to talk a little bit, and you talk about heating up. It's cold outside. Let's get ready to heat up in the gym because you got 2 scorers and 2 guys that are not afraid to go at each other and compete. I love it.
Sadler with a quick 6, and there you see it, as he has, we talked about, been in double figures in 32 straight games, as we had mentioned, and with 11, 20-plus point performances. Whistle as Rayshawn Goings, such a tough guard down on that low block, got fouled by Josh Brinkley. It'll be Rayshawn Goings and James Madison at the free throw line.
Yeah, and I love you see the the leadership. The point guard, Devon Moore, he's on the bench. He calls his cousin, A.J. Davis, over, kind of let him know, hey, stay in the rhythm of what they're doing and go at each other. You're starting to see these 2, that being Davis and Sadler, compete. There's nothing wrong with see 2 scorers. Davis is a guy that can, fill up a stat sheet real quick offensively, and we know Sadler can.
Rayshawn Goings will deposit a couple from the line. He's got 11. Goings to lead James Madison. A.J. Davis has come off the bench with double numbers. He's got 10 as we hit the 60-second mark in this first half. So it's a 16-point swing as Anderson came off the curl. Now, if he was beyond the arc, that is going to be a 3 foul shot opportunity. And yes, it is. As Anderson raised up to fire the 3, and he got clipped. A.J. Davis hit him. That's his 3rd personal foul. So Davis got the hot hand, Brad, but he's going to have to sit as Matt Brady cannot afford him possibly picking up that 4th personal foul in the final minute of the opening half.
Absolutely not. He's got 10 points. He's doing a great job. Goins has 11. He's the second leading scorer. He's been hot the last 3 games, averaging 16 points a game. You know what? You got to sit him down. You don't want him to pick up a silly foul that will not that will ill afford him to be on the court for a good portion of the second half.
Kyle Anderson just made A.J. Davis and James Madison pay. They fouled him. 3 and 2 for Matt Brady, as you see in the last 5, including that big win over Towson. They needed that at home in Harrisonburg as they bounced back after the, as we said, where they didn't play well. And Matt Brady was the first to say that last Sunday night at Drexel. Trying to slash his way to the bucket and getting that denied was Allian Wolf. Running the floor. Look at that blocked shot from Andre Nation. As Nation just took that right away from Marvin King Davis of Delaware. Outstanding defensive play. And now, with the shot clock off, Matt Brady wants his ball club to get a final shot here in the first half.
Unbelievable athletic play by another freshman for James Madison, Andre Nation. Great hustle back and great job of making sure he got all ball on that block.
All right, with 4 seconds left, we've got a whistle off the ball. And that foul is going to be on Delaware's Marvin King Davis. Redshirt freshman, just came off Monte Ross's bench. He got rejected on this outstanding play by Andre Nation. The free throw line will be Allian Wolf. Checking in for Matt Brady is going to be Armand Marks, a 6'4" sophomore on the defensive end. Wolf at the line for the 1 and bonus. Didn't earn it. Sadler, can he beat that buzzer? Had it slapped out of bounds by Charles Cook with a 1/10 of a second left. Last touch was Devon Sadler, so Cook with the outstanding hands to direct it off Sadler and out of bounds and give it back to James Madison with only a 1/10 of a second left. So after a very slow start, James Madison's Dukes pick it up. First 4.5 minutes, not much. Devon Sadler with 13 tonight. He leads.
Defensively in the second half, certainly, and we'll have to make sure that we check out a little bit better than we did.
With just a 2-point lead, how do you run away with this one on the road?
Well, I don't think we're going to run away with it, Kelly. I do think that this is a good basketball team. They're up for the challenge. They've got a lot of good players on their team. I think the starting 5 is as good as any in our league. We're going to have to play really well here in the second half for 20 minutes to make sure that we can fight to the very end and win at the end.
All right, thanks, Coach. Guys, JMU looking for their 3rd win on the road in the CAA this season.
They've played very well on the road, Kelly, as have many of the top half of the Colonial Athletic Association. We've said we've been extremely impressed with what road teams have been able to accomplish. All right, settle back and enjoy it. 2-point basketball game. The road standing purple-clad James Madison Dukes will start with Charles Cook missing everything on that long triple try. So to reset the 10 on the floor, of course, Devon Sadler and also Jarvis Street, along with Jamel Higgins, Josh Brinkley, and Kyle Anderson. That's Monte Ross's starting 5. And we'll check James Madison on their next trip to the offensive end, although it looks like the starting 5 is on the floor. Higgins in trouble, but did not get that to roll home. Then Jamel had a hand on it and committed a personal foul. That's what coaches cringe at. 92 feet away from their defensive rim. Higgins frustrated that he didn't get this to drop around the bucket.
And he does a great job of finishing on the other side of the rim. You know, great job also defensively by Taylor Bessick being able to come down, you know, and double team after he beat Goins. But, you know, because of the dumb foul that you talked about the other night, coaches hate, you know, unfortunately with only 40 seconds, you know, gone by in the second half, you know, one of your best players, not only in the conference, but on your team, has to sit down with his 3rd personal foul.
Yep, and that'll get Carl Baptiste up for Jamel Higgins. So James Madison on the offensive end. Charles Cook starts 0 for 2. Devon Sadler to attack that bucket. Didn't get the floater to drop, but Brinkley's strong on the offensive glass. Sadler thought about the triple. Excellent closeout from Rayshawn Goins of James Madison.
Great feat by the big man right there.
Sadler off the step back. How pure is that? Barely nestled the rope as Devon Sadler has tripled for the second time tonight. He's got 16.
That's just a great shot. It's great defense by Goins, but a better shot. You know, he shot that from Aberdeen and made it.
The hometown, I like that. This is Taylor Bessick off the mark. James Madison starts 0 for 3 here in the first 2 minutes of the second half in their first 3 possessions. Sadler with 16. Again, leads the CAA at 19.5 a night. Now this is Brinkley on the back down. Very lazy pass and threw it away. Cook on the crossover. Anderson did a nice job shutting them off. 0 for 4 for James Madison. Cook's 0 for 2. Bessick's 0 for 2.
Good defense by Kyle Anderson the other end.
3 with that no-look dish to a flying Kyle Anderson, who went reversing off the window.
Excellent pass and even a better cut by Kyle Anderson. You know, he head faked the defender, brought him up the lane, and then was able to go backdoor on him.
5-0 mini run to start the second half for Delaware. Goins got contact, threw it over the bucket. James Madison started the first half 0 for 7. They're 0 for 5 in the second half. Contact from Taylor Bessick. Matt Brady saying, wait a minute, my guy was straight up vertical. As we go back and take a look at 3, finding a flying Kyle Anderson.
And that's a bad job by Taylor Bessick, and you see right there, great cut, but you see the no look and then the foul right here. You know, 2 plays in a row that the freshman would like to learn from, and probably had back. 1 defensively, you know, he doesn't have his head on the swivel and he doesn't have his arms down. He's not in a basketball position, like his knees bent, arms out pointed. And then the second one, he just kind of leans in and bumps the shooter. And the referees are going to call that every time on a big guy.
Alian Dwolf is back for the Taylor Bessick. As Jarvis Street splitting the pair, but this is a 6-0 run in the first 3 minutes of the second half. So Delaware's gone from a 2 down at 38-36. There's your 6-0, and now put them up by 4. That triple's not going to drop for Andre Nation, the 6'5 freshman. 0 for 6 to begin the second half. 3 to the cup. That stick back will go from Carl Baptiste. Very deftly from the right side of the rim. And Matt Brady's got to get a timeout on an 8-0 Delaware run.
Position game all week long. He was just telling them in the huddle, make them shoot jumpers, rebound, get down the court with the ball. It's working for them so far, guys.
Yeah, it is the second very difficult beginning to start the game. James Madison went 0 for 7, got an 11-point deficit. They're 0 for 6 here to begin the second half and have been hit with an 8-0 run. That ends right there. Great shot, Goins. We saw this last week at Philly. When James Madison is in trouble, they basically run an NBA ISO for him. Clear out of side, say go to work.
And that's what has to happen. You know, of course they get lost in defense right there. But Goins is a guy. He's the leading scorer tonight for a reason. Get the ball inside because good things happen in the paint. If they double down, it's going to open up those pass lanes and jump shots for the shooters as well.
Carl Baptiste wanted to crash that down, and you see he got banged, and he'll go to the free throw line. So Baptiste, after Jamel Higgins quickly picked up his 3rd foul, has come on and been active. You know, I say that, Brad, about the offensive end as Baptiste connects on his first because, you know, you don't see that a lot in the college game where a coach will just say, clear out of side, give him the ball, let him ISO, and let him go to work.
And Baptiste is a good defender, but he's not Higgins. And so when you have an opportunity, and Coach Brady clearly knows, you know, taking nothing away from Baptiste, but I would believe that my guy Goins is going to be able to put it and score for us if we give him the ball down there, that he is just a better player offensively than Baptiste's defense can be, and he proved it on that last one. We'll see if they can continue to go to it and try to find a way to cut into this lead.
A 10-2 Delaware run in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Cook to the pull-up. Numbers for Devon Sadler on the push. Sadler with that strength went right to the rack. Anderson, no. Baptiste On the sticks back that goes. How about Baptiste? 6 here in the second half. Now we got a whistle as Baptiste probably returned the favor and clipped.
Well, Coach Ross is going to have a decision on this play because Baptiste now picks up his 3rd foul. So both of his big men are.
Michael Regai alongside Brad Jackson and Kelly Cowan, our producer Wade Rowland, director John Anderson, all of our terrific Comcast Sportsnet crew, part of the NBC Sports Group, here at the Bob Carpenter Center, where Matt Brady, you saw a moment ago, and that man, Monte Ross, are matching the X's and O's as this is a very, very pivotal game as we come down the home stretch in CAA play. So Devon Moore able to split the pair, and here's that pressure again from James Madison.
Yeah, and they go to this pressure every time they try to get the energy up. You know, Kelly talked to Coach Ross right before, you know, right at the beginning of halftime, and he said, you know, they started to have the game off with great energy. They had to find a way to pick their energy up. They did here in the second half, coming out shooting 4 of 9 on 44% from the and taking the lead. Now they just have to figure out a way to expand on that. And fortunately for Coach Ross, they did not give Baptiste that 3rd foul, so he's able to stay on the floor.
Had a couple of turnovers each way, and it leads to the run out from Alian Diouf. Diouf got that to fall. Well, the turnovers now on Delaware starting to mount a little bit. That's going to be a Diouf foul as he ran into Kyle Anderson. Anderson's having another very impactful basketball game for Monte Ross, with his 10 points, 5 boards, and an assist. Here's the turnover situation, is Delaware with some unforced errors.
Yeah, you see the pass right there. You know, great job Anderson and Sadler hustling back. Better finish by Diouf. You know, but it's one of those things where you just saw right there, I think Sadler, you know, was expecting Brinkley to come up the lane a little bit farther versus stay down on the low block.
The lead is 5. James Madison led it by a deuce at 38-36 at the break. An 8-0 run has punctuated things for Delaware. Brinkley being doubled down on. He got rejected down underneath the rim by Alian Diouf. And the basketball is going to stay with Delaware. Diouf continuing his defensive specialty around the bucket.
Hey, you'd like to see Brinkley go ahead and make a move right here, be a little strong with the ball, you know, up under the rim. He got himself in trouble. Anytime you're under the basket, it's going to be difficult to try to finish because with the long arms and defenders crashing and down on the goal, they're going to be able to do exactly that, which is block the ball out of bounds. Fortunately for Delaware, they're able to keep possession of that ball.
This is Kyle Anderson to raise up and ring up that triple. What a stroke he's got. And he doesn't need a lot of daylight, Brad Jackson. That basketball is gone as soon as he comes off that screen and delivers.
And that's from the countless hours of him practicing, you know, from the time he was a little kid. Great footwork coming off the screen, and you said it. He doesn't need much. Very quick release. You know, 68 three-pointers last year. Broke the freshman record here at Delaware for him.
Goings wasn't able to finish in traffic. Baptiste with a strong board. Anderson. And we've got a whistle that is going to go on James Madison's Ron Curry as Anderson delivered the triple try, and he's going to shoot it 3 times for Delaware.
Second time this game that James Madison unfortunately found, you know, Anderson, of course, behind the three-point line, giving him the opportunity to sink the free throws.
He made 30 starts as a freshman, averaged 9 points a game and 3 boards last year. Young man, he's from a Newark, but not Delaware, Illinois. And he has really become a Bob Carpenter Center favorite for this Delaware Blue Hens crowd. Perpetual motion. You see him tonight. 15, looking for 16 at the line, and has bumped the lead to 11. So this is a plus 13 in the first 6 minutes for Delaware in the second half. They were down 2 at the break.
Well, whatever Coach said, Ross said that they were going to do at the halftime to get the energy up to start the second half, they obviously did it. And you see Coach Brady counter what he did in the first half, which allowed them to get back into this game by inserting A.J. Davis into the lineup.
Goings didn't finish. Wolf had a hand on it. And the basketball will stay with James Madison. We check in with Kelly Cowan.
Yeah, Coach Ross describes Kyle Anderson and Threet as an unlikely pair. The two sophomores have been roommates since their freshman year. Anderson, like you mentioned, grew up on a farm in rural Illinois. And Threet, a city boy from Richmond, Virginia. But Ross says their differences complement each other. And they've grown together during their trial by fire freshman and sophomore years, guys.
I like that. Nice stuff. As you know, sometimes the opposites attract for head coaches. As
kind of like us, a little bit of ebony and ivory.
Oh, listen to you. I'm gonna break out in song here in a minute.
Hey, it is Valentine's weekend. I know it's open on Thursday, but
that's
I
right.
got some love for you, buddy.
You got love. You're gonna throw out roses and bouquets. Oh, okay.
I'll bring you some chocolate.
Oh, there. No. Try to stay off the chocolate.
I'll eat all the chocolate.
All right. Goings got fouled as he went to the rim. He lowers his shoulder and makes his mind about getting to the hoop. He's very, very difficult to curtail.
And that's that wide body, Michael. I mean, 6'6", 275 pounds. And if he's 275, I'm 225 pounds.
What, did he get weighed before breakfast?
He got weighed before definitely before the game started.
All right.
But, you know, you're talking about a guy that is very physical in pain. I absolutely love it, and he has great footwork.
Speaking of footwork, how about Matt Brady? Matt Brady did his Valentine's Day dance. Watch Brady. See him right there. He says that's a walk on Devon Sadler, and he was right. As Sadler tried to spin out of traffic and took too many steps, so turnover on Delaware. Thinking about it is Elian Doof. Goins to the spin. That's so strong. Rayshawn Goins, as he was able to muscle that up and down over Carl Baptiste. Jamel Higgins has now sat for almost 6 minutes after picking up his third personal foul. A.J. Davis has just got back on the floor, by the way, for James Madison. He picked up his third, and he had to sit late in the first half after he had delivered 10 points. Brinkley. How about Brinkley? And then throw it over. I'm going to ad-lib that, said Brinkley. He was forced under the glass.
Right.
And threw it up and down as Devon Moore will glide his way to the goal and delivers off the window.
And you see the full court pressure here again by James Madison, trying to, hurry this pace up, force a turnover by Delaware. And also it prevents them from being able to get down and get into their offensive set earlier than what they would like.
The lead is 7 at 56-49 for Delaware, who trailed it by a deuce at the half. Brinkley with power, and he got pushed. And that's going to be Elian Doof on the personal foul for James Madison as we go back and take a look at the strength, the power of strength that is Rayshawn Goings.
And that's just grown man. He's just leaning on him. And Baptiste, he does a great job. It's great defense by Baptiste. But then you see it right here. Good defense again by Goings. Better finish by Brinkley.
Well, coming off that screen and getting that rejected, but re-teeing it up was Larry Savage. Savage, a 6'5 sophomore. He got swatted away and got it right back and said, I might as well throw this in the cup.
Good deep by A.J. Davis, and unfortunately it goes right back to him, and he's able to, take it and give himself the assist.
Well, look at Goings, didn't finish. Davis for three. Bang! A.J. Davis.
Beautiful ball movement. Another great assist by Moore, delivering the ball to his cousin A.J. Davis. Both the kids, senior from Columbus, Ohio. Great job, not being selfish. One hop to pass right to him for an open look on the three. Davis able to convert on.
Brinkley never got it to the rim. Baptiste couldn't handle the basketball. It belonged to James Madison. A.J. Davis has deposited 3-3 off pressure and try to get easy hoops in transition. As they did off their defense in the first half as well.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing Coach Brady talked about last weekend with us, and he said they're going to continue to try to do that, switch the defenses up in order to try to create some easy offense by their defensive pressure.
Well, that's easy offense when Devon Moore is gliding his way toward the rim. Count that with one more coming on that Delaware personal foul that's going to go on Jarvis Street.
And that's what happens when your all-time leading shot blocker, is not in the game because he's sitting on the bench.
He's back now.
And that's exactly why Coach Rouse put him back in. He cannot allow, guys to be able to finish at the rim uncontested with layups or dunks.
So Jamel Higgins is back. He's got 7 boards, but just 2 of 5 from the floor for 4 points tonight. Double-double guy, averages 12 points, 10 boards for Monte Ross. Brinkley double-clutched that. Tried to corkscrew it home, but didn't finish. James Madison down 4. Goings, jump hook. It rimmed out for about the 4th time tonight on Rayshawn Goings. Anderson, well, he thought about unloading. Went inside to Sadler, who had that partially rejected. And Goings will board to send Moore to the other end. Davis, a quick trigger. Moore kept it alive, but lost control of the basketball. Give it back to Delaware. Up and down action now as both ball clubs try to go 94 feet.
Yeah, and again, you got a bunch of great athletes on the court, great size and length by both guys, physical, by both teams. So now it's a matter of, and you heard Coach talk about it, Ross said it, when he spoke with Kelly before the half, that they did some things defensively and offensively that they had to counter with his Delaware team, and it looks like they've got that. They got themselves a 4-point lead, and they just got to continue to find a way to pound the ball inside and make plays. And James Madison is going to continue to do
another turnover on Delaware. They turned it over and threw it away, and they'll keep the basketball. Brad Jackson got his hands on it.
I still know what to do with the basketball when I get it.
Well, I know it's not passing it to somebody. You probably wanted to hoist it, didn't you?
Too bad I wasn't as good a shooter as A.J. Davis.
A.J. Davis has given his ball club a boost, and now I think they're going to take a look at Rayshawn Goings. I don't know if Goings has blood on the uniform or it's just simply an injury. He's holding on to that right ankle. So Taylor Bessick will return, and we'll keep an eye on and get Kelly on Rayshawn Goings as he sits down with his team down 4 with 9:40 left. Make it down 1 as Devon Moore will sweet stroke that 3. Devon Moore starting to pick it up. Moore now 5 of 8 from the floor. He hits his first 3 of the night. He's got 14. 1 point Delaware lead. Second time tonight that James Madison has come back from double digits down. This is Jarvis 3. Got contact, and he'll go to the free throw line. He's got an excellent up fake, and he's got a terrific knack for a sophomore at drawing contact.
And he keeps taking advantage of the freshman in Curry. This is the second time, as we see it right here. He does a great job of swiping it. Little head fake goes to left. Pump fake gets him in the air. Curry's just got to learn. All you need to do is close out, hips down, knees bent, and put a hand right in the face, because you affect the shot more than you will ever by trying to block the shot.
Well, Rayshawn Goings now has got that right basketball shoe off. He's probably going to have to get, maybe he did get it. Looks like he got a re-tape job. As you see Goings with the 17 and 7 tonight. It's only 4 of 14, but a perfect 8 of 8 from the line. He had 15 points, 13 rebounds in the James Madison January win over Delaware at home in Harrisonburg.
Yeah, he completely dominated the paint at both ends of the court. Higgins only had 4 points and 4 rebounds and had a chance to talk with some James Madison people before the game. And, he was on Higgins the entire time. And Goins just physically showed that strength will always beat height when it comes to, a young man's character and heart in the paint.
Doof misfired, but run down by A.J. Davis. Andre Nation is back on the floor as well. Moore, deep triple, and you can book that baby for Devon Moore.
Back-to-back threes.
It's tied at 60 apiece. So Devon Moore continues his impressive shooting display. 6 of 9 from the floor. He's got 17.
Yeah, I mean,
we are
17
tied at
points.
60.
Oh, unbelievable. 2 guys with 17 points. You know, Devon Moore, 6 of 9, 2 of 4 from behind the line. And again, 3 assists. The career leader in the conference in assists is also, as we talked about at the Open, Michael, able to put it in the cup.
Now Sadler, the shot clock inside 10. Higgins against Bessick. Devon Sadler to the pull-up. Rising high is Devon Moore, and now James Madison to the offensive end with an opportunity to reclaim the lead. You see Rayshawn Goings, top of your screen. Moore, deep triple, missed it wide right. He stepped out about 2 feet further than on his previous 2 3-point makes.
Well, he was feeling the back-to-back threes and got his team back into this ball game with it being tied. And again, he's a guy that's filling up his stat sheet. He's doing everything. He's a star. Last time these two teams got it on, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. So he filled up the entire stat sheet. Tonight so far, 17 points, 6 of 10 from the field.
Oh, look at Sadler. He just ripped it right away from Taylor Bessick and got that to fall.
Right now, with Goings on the bench, Michael, they're going to have good ball movement, try to get themselves some easy shots. Moore's made some good jumpers. You know, this would be an opportunity for Davis and Moore to try to figure out, penetrate, maybe dish it, and get one of the other guys once the defense collects on them.
Contact as Davis threw it up off the glass. Now that basketball will go off of Taylor Bessick. And as we come inside the 8-minute mark,
things are heating up with 6:34 to go. 2-point game. A lot on the line as far as being able to move up in the seedings for the regular season title in the CAA.
Yeah, we'll show you how absolutely packed tightly the CAA standings at the top are behind Northeastern. Brinkley with power didn't finish. Jamel Higgins with that floater that goes as he crashes the offensive glass. Higgins now has a total of 6.
And that was another great offensive rebound. Again, he's an active guy, and he's fresh because he missed most of the second half of this game sitting on the bench with foul trouble.
Keep an eye on the battle right there, middle of your screen. Rayshawn Goings, 33 in purple. Jamel Higgins, 44 in white. We documented that to begin the show tonight. Goings wants to take it on Higgins, couldn't finish. And he'll go to the free throw line. Another offensive board for Rayshawn Goings out of Cleveland Glenville High School, the noted national prep football power in the city of Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't know how they let this kid not get on the gridiron. But a lot of good guys we talked about, but an excellent job of continued battle amongst the trees. Goings is only 6'6", going against guys 6'9" and 6'8" as well. But he's able to use that body and use that phenomenal strength that he has to be able to not only get to the cup, but also finish. You hope for it to be able to go down, but also he's been perfect from the lines this far tonight, going 9 for 9.
Got 18 and now 19 for Rayshawn Goings. 10 for 10 from the stripe. Of course, he hit that triple too when he stepped out. And Jamel Higgins and Josh Brinkley taking on the defensive assignment. They've harassed Goings into a 4 for 15 from the floor, but he's still racking up his points by getting to the free throw line.
Right, and when you can go 10 for 10, and it's for the young kids out there, that's why you have to spend the time in practice, after practice, and before practice on the free throw shot.
How good is Jarvis Street? What a tremendous compliment he is for the young man that could wind up the player of the year in the CAA. We'll see. He'll have company, to be sure. We'll see how that plays out in a few weeks.
But he's a good one, and he's explosive. When he scores in bunches.
How about A.J. Davis? That's nothing but pure from very, very deep. Davis has tripled for the 4th time tonight. He's got 16 on 4 of 7 from beyond the arc, and that big-time three-point bomb brings James Madison back to within 1. Higgins on the back down. Jamel Higgins came up flat. Now James Madison can take the lead with a make on the strip. Davis, heat check, didn't drop. Stick back from Nation, no. Goings had it slapped away. And that's going to be a reach-in foul That's going to go on Delaware's Larry Savage. So Savage got hit with a foul. Kelly Cowan, what do you have for us?
Well, Coach Brady told me yesterday that AJ is a bit enigmatic. That's the way he described him to me. He's a terrific offensive player, but he's not always reliable on defense. But guys, since the start of February, the light has finally come on for AJ, and he's doing everything asked of him by his coach. Brady said if they go on any sort of big run this season, AJ will be a major factor in that run.
Thanks, Kelly. Already has been, as we've seen. And that was a heat check three, though, that he authored a moment ago. He was probably 27 feet away when he launched that after his make on the previous possession.
Yeah, he was across the border back in Maryland when he shot that. But, you know, he's a guy, we've seen it before. 27 points, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, against William Maneri. 7 for 10. In the second half. So you talk about heat check, he's a guy like a lot of rhythm shooters that if they get going and find a rhythm, they can put up points real quick, real fast.
Devon Moore continues to have a special night. He's got 19 now as he connects on a pair from the line, and James Madison back on top by one. Now in trouble on that baseline was the sophomore Jarvis Threet. He turned it over on the travel, give it back to the Dukes of James Madison, trying to rack up what would be an enormous road win.
And that's a great job of Davis. You talk about, you know, not committing the foul. Does a great job of coming down the lane once Threet got to the basket and cutting off the ability for him to be able to score.
See the turnover story. Delaware now with a 12 miscue. Look at James Madison. Only 3 turnovers. That triple is right there as Ron Curry stepped into it and knocked it out as the three-point bomb starting to fall for James Madison.
And another great dish by Devon Moore, the senior point guard, leads the CA in assists, does a great job of penetrating and knowing exactly where the shooters are, finding his guy, getting his guys an open look. Not only does Devon have 19 points tonight, he's also able, through his 5 assists, to be able to create and give for other people.
And the lead is 4 now. Shot clock at 9. Sadler to the step back. That's a real tough look as the basketball went over the top of the glass. And Sean Goings, who was playing on an injured ankle tonight. Ron Curry has 4 and A.J. Davis 3 for James Madison. Well, no Delaware Blue Hen with 4, but Josh Brinkley, Jamel Higgins, and Carl Baptiste all have 3. This is an important defensive possession here. Looking for a stop are the Blue Hens of Delaware. Oh, they got their stop. They turned over James Madison for just the 4th time. Sadler got contact, and count that on the goaltend, +1 coming from the free throw line as the official on the far side of the floor, Earl Robinson, after the shot was challenged and rejected after the whistle and the contact, right there by A.J. Davis. So the goaltend on Davis, and it'll be Devon Sadler. Give him the bucket with a trip to the free throw line to get Delaware possibly back to within 1.
Yeah, tough call, Moore. Great job of getting back and being there. Tough call. And then unfortunately, you know, one of his teammates comes in, his own cousin there, A.J. Davis, and you know, swats the ball away and, you know, becomes a 3-point play as Sadler knocks down the free throw.
Hang on, everybody. We're inside 3 minutes now. Fantastic CA finish coming up on this Sunday night. That's a travel on the freshman Andre Nation. Well, back, we were just singing the praises, and rightfully so, in a game like this. Up until the last 2 possessions, Brad, James Madison had only turned it over 3 times. Turnovers 4 and 5 on back-to-back possessions.
Right, and that's now it's cut their lead to 1 with 2:53 to go. And you know, again, this is a home game for them, and this is one of the reasons why James Madison has been 2 and 8 on the road. You know, they're doing a fabulous job. They only average 60 points, 6 points per game on the road. They're obviously at 70 tonight with an opportunity to score more, but you cannot turn the ball over late in games.
Went to the rim, didn't finish as it came up short. Now Devon Moore to the other end.
Great job by Moore, understanding time is on their side as the Dukes have the lead. Bring the ball back out, run the offense, make a good play, and eventually they'll probably try to go inside the big number 33 if they're smart.
Or Curry's going to hoist the 3. Well, Curry catch and fire triple that didn't drop. We're coming inside the 2-minute mark. Curry has been shooting it well tonight. He's hit 3 of 4 from deep. That was his first miss from beyond the arc.
And Coach Brady's got his jacket off and is screaming for his James Madison Dukes to play good defense as they do.
Sadler threw it at A. Nation to the cup. He got denied by Anderson. Put it in the hands of Sadler. Deep triple. Don't know if Monte Ross wanted that right there. Quick trigger from Devon Sadler.
Well, he figured he had Big Higgins down in the rebound in case it was a miss, and he had a good look at it. And when you lead the CAA in scoring with 19.5 points, you know what? He's going to have the ability to shoot whenever he feels it.
The crowd would have erupted, and Devon Sadler with such supreme confidence in his offensive game, but probably discretion maybe the better part of valor as he pulled up early in the shot clock with a 1-point lead closer to Northeastern. Hey, ditto that for James Madison. They win tonight. They go to 10-5. And, of course, you have Towson's Tigers right in the middle of that as Towson having a terrific year. So we go to 1:15 left with the lead for Delaware at 1. James Madison looking to regain the lead. Devon Moore had it ripped away. Sadler on the sprint. Devon Sadler, Higgins couldn't control. Nation came out of the pack with the basketball for James Madison. Hang on, everybody. Coming down possibly to a final shot. Who's going to have the possession? And how is it won or lost?
Well, he got the ball in the right guy's hands as Devon Moore, who's had a phenomenal second half and a great overall game, leading his team to a 1-point lead right now. He's the guy that's going to make the decision.
Moore to float it up in the glass. No, Higgins will board. Sadler on the run out. Sadler to float it home with 23 seconds left. Jamel Higgins with his...
He's the leading scorer in the conference. He has a quick three, but now we'll see what happens with 20 seconds to go and a 1-point lead for the home team.
All right, everybody on their feet here inside the Bob Carpenter Center. James Madison down by 1, looking to reclaim the lead. Goings to the hole. No! Higgins will pull off the big-time board in traffic. And we've got a reach-it foul that's going to go on James Madison's Ron Curry. Rayshon Goings went to the cup strong, but he couldn't convert with a left hand.
That's a beautiful drive. Great finish. It just, because of the size of Higgins, he just was not able to get it where exactly it needed to be, and it falls a little bit short because he had to put the ball higher up on the rim. Higgins does a great job of getting his hand on the ball. You can't teach size in the NBA, and that was just a great defensive job. A great offensive possession as well. Defense won on that particular possession, though.
Higgins did not get it. 7 seconds left. Davis got a timeout in the front court in front of the James Madison bench with 4.6 left. So Jamel Higgins not able to complete 4.6. It may be one opportunity to win it.
Well, Devon is just yelling at Goins, so he's getting the ball.
Goins going to the rack, had it rejected by Higgins with 1 second left. 1 second left. Now let's see if the officiating trio looks at this as far as the time that is left. The inbound came to Goins. He went right to the rim. The floater got rejected by Higgins. They'll check the game clock to make sure that the game clock right now shows exactly 1 second left.
And again, you saw the ball going in. Once the ball went to Goins, it was his opportunity to go and make something happen. It's just a better defensive play by Higgins. Jamel Higgins, again, wonderful block shot artist, the best in school history here at the University of Delaware. And he showed the last 2 times, the last 2 key important possessions, he's done what? Blocked them shots.
Yeah, he's had blocked shots. He missed the free throw together. And all right, 1 second left. Pretty much just an opportunity maybe to catch, gather, and you got to get it off. James Madison could also go toward the high lob at the rim. They could look at that opportunity. It'll be their leader, Devon Moore, to trigger. Andre Nation and Goings. looking to crash. Hang on now. 71-70 Delaware. 1 second left. Moore with that lob to Nation. He will flush. He will flush for the James Madison lead with 2:10 left. As I mentioned a moment ago,
and you must make your free throw.
All right, 6:10. Now Baptiste can run that baseline. He's at the top of your screen. And now Monte Ross is going to get a 30-second timeout. What an absolutely. You got to go 90. This is just going to have to be a catch and a fling. We've seen it happen before.
Yes, it has.
You will probably put it in the hands of Devon Sadler. Now, Matt Brady is opting not to put anyone on the inbounder, Carl Baptiste. Baptiste gonna fire it. It goes out of bounds, and that will effectively end the basketball game, as it will be James Madison's basketball right where Baptiste was standing and threw it out of bounds. Now with 6:10 left, up by a point. The Dukes up 72-71.
And they're going to, if barring anything crazy happen, they will collect only the
put it in the hands of Goins, and that's it.
The season on the road.
How about that finish?
What a great finish.
Tremendous.
CAA basketball.